Hey guys, welcome back to Wannabe Tuners, where we play around and try to go fast. Here's my 2009 Mazdaspeed 3. It's just hanging out right now in the garage. My little nook right here. My car's name is Snowball, and I'm just hanging out with Snowball. It's late November right now, so Snowball is going to be chilling out here for the next couple months because of winter time. And as you can see, for social security purposes, I have put a piece of tape over my VIN number right there, so you cannot see who I am as an individual. Because primarily, it doesn't really matter because this car gets driven in Mexico only. So we're not really too concerned with anything else because this is a race car and it gets driven only on the racetracks in Mexico. So it's a double win. So it's been a while since we've done much tutorial type content because basically it gets expensive. It gets expensive to keep modifying your vehicle. We put out videos just for the documentation of it, of progressing through our journeys of tinkering around with our cars. And a lot of times it's proven to be very valuable to the audience because we're going through the process of doing a specific job per se, and we're learning, doing our own research, and it allows you, the viewer, to gain some of that information for free, pretty much. And you can kind of learn certain things through the experiences that we've gone through. So that's kind of the fun part for us. Another reason why we haven't been doing much content, aside from the fact that it gets expensive, is because our priorities in life have kind of changed over the past couple of years. You can't always just focus on cars all the time, right? So Julian actually sold his Volkswagen Jetta 2.0 TSI to his boss, so he no longer has that car. For the foreseeable future, we're going to be primarily doing Mazdaspeed 3 content. And I gotta say, for a 2009, this thing looks pretty sweet, you know? And there are a lot of imperfections with this vehicle, guys. You have no idea. It looks good on camera, but there's a lot of imperfections. For example, I'm starting to get the well too known rust in these left, the rear quarter panels here. I'm gonna have to get a lot of these issues addressed, but can't go wrong with coffee from Tim Hortons sometimes. Aside from that, I mean, I haven't waxed the car or buffed the car like in a very long time, so clear coat's kind of off. Aside from the fact that I've just discovered again that in colder weather, right now it's late November, I was driving the car last weekend, and on the highway I noticed that my clutch is starting to slip in 5th gear. And I'm not even running crazy amount of torque either. I'm just running maybe like 350 pound-feet of torque. Stock clutch with the Potenza lightweight flywheel. It's been in the car for like 50,000 kilometers, so it's definitely got some wear to it. And basically it's starting to slip in 5th gear, especially when the temperatures get a little bit colder. So I'm gonna have to look for a clutch. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Clutches are very expensive right now, especially living in Canada, having to get things shipped out from the US. And with the Canadian dollar being, a pretty penny worth, like it's worth less than the US dollar right now, so I'm having to pay more already as it is, and then getting it shipped. I was bouncing around between a ACT 6-puck on the less expensive end, and then a Clutchmasters twin disc on the more expensive end. The thing I like about the twin disc is that the clutch pedal feel should not be as stiff as the ACT 6-puck from what I've read, and it should hold up to a lot more torque as well. So drivability is probably going to be a little bit better, I'm guessing, with the twin disc. But let me know what you guys think. I was thinking either a Clutchmasters 750, a Clutchmasters 850, or an X-Clutch twin disc. But I have read online that the X-Clutches have had some issues, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So while I'm in there changing the clutch, obviously we're going to make a video on that. I mean, I like to document as much as I can. But we'll have the transmission out. So with the transmission out, we will be able to dismantle the transmission and change 2nd and 3rd gear along with the corresponding synchronizers and stuff like that. And the reason why I want to do that is because over the years of owning this car, I've grinded 2nd and 3rd hundreds of times. I'm actually surprised it still goes into gear and drives somewhat normally. But yeah, so clutch discs, twin discs, transmission refresh, Oh, while I'm in there, brass shift fork pads apparently. Apparently that's a good thing to do. Yeah, so step by step, guys. I mean, the car as it is running great. Aside from the clutch slipping, the engine's in good shape. Car's making decent power. I've had to dial back on the power a decent amount. So instead of running 26 to 27 pounds of boost up top, I'm now running maybe like 23 to 24. And I've increased the reverse taper on it as well, so the boost doesn't really kick in as hard in the mid-range to try and keep that clutch from slipping. But I've also reduced ignition timing across the board as well, just to try to keep torque minimal. And that's basically, you know, I'm gonna feel the lack of power in the summer, but in the winter time when it's cold, even though I don't drive it in the winter, but when the weather gets cooler, you know, even with a mild tune, the thing pulls pretty nicely when it's cool out. But either way, I mean, the clutch is slipping, so I can't really go much further. The other thing too is 6-port auxiliary fuel injection has been working fine. No issues with that. But if I do swap 6-port out, I'll probably go with an upgraded Corksport intake manifold. This is their version 1, but I'd probably go with their version 2 to run, you know, 4 additional injectors here. And I was thinking of pairing that with their fuel cell, their external fuel cell and fuel pump and all that kind of stuff. So it kind of keeps whatever's in the gas tank separate, so I can run like 94 octane in the gas tank and just run like, you know, methanol or something in the fuel cell or something like that, right? Or a mix of methanol and gas and whatever. And that should hopefully give me the octane I need and ensure that each cylinder is getting good fuel if I ever do decide to turn things way up. But I'll be quite honest with you, that is an expensive change to make. And like I said, living in Canada, 30 to 40% difference between the US dollar and Canadian dollar, you know, negatively in Canada. So it's going to cost a lot more money than that for me to do that. But like I was saying, even with just 6-port, man, this thing is just, it's a ton of fun already as it is. I mean, I don't really know if I want to change things up right now. Main priorities, like I said, are the clutch, getting that sorted out so I can actually put power down and not have a clutch slipping, and then doing the transmission rebuild while I'm in there. So yeah, that's just some of the things that are coming in the foreseeable future. Video ideas, right? So stay tuned for that. But like I said, we don't have the Volkswagen Jetta anymore. So unfortunately, we're going to be doing a lot more content on this. So to all the Volkswagen guys who have been following our channel, I apologize. No more content, but we're not going to get rid of the videos that are currently on our channel. We're going to keep them up there, obviously, because there's a lot of good little tutorials on there for the Volkswagen stuff, 2.0 TSI stuff. That being said, guys, what else can I talk about to you? In the near future, since we're coming up on winter, and this car is not really going to be doing a lot of driving, obviously. It's not going to be doing any driving because we're going to have some snow. And, you know, these tires, even in these temperatures right now, it's about 1 degree Celsius out right now, and I'm just chilling out. These tires are not that good when it's cold at all. They're great when it's warm. They're great when it's hot out. They hook up decently. But yeah, there's just so many ideas when it comes to these cars. Like I could totally just put like a set of slicks on the front here at some point in time. But there's just so many things. Like these headlights need to be refinished. Like just there's a lot of, look at that. Look at all the, I butchered the whole car really. I mean, on camera it looks good, but there's a lot of butchery going on here, guys. But in the near future, I actually, since we're coming up on winter, I want to put out a series of videos related to actually tuning this car. Because, you know, I've been thinking about doing it for a while, and I've had a couple videos on there a couple times, but I took them down because I wasn't sure if it was a good idea to put that kind of content out. I think now that we're coming up on winter, I can spend a little more time thinking about how I want to deliver ECU tuning content, specifically using Cobb Accesstuner. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably put out some tuning stuff, like ECU tuning stuff, how to tune the setup, basically talk you guys through it, show you the software, how I tune my car, how I tune the engine, how I tune it to achieve specific power goals and specific drivability type goals, how the power comes on, how to dial in your fuel, how to dial in auxiliary fuel injection, how to dial in ignition timing, boost, dialing in your wastegate duty cycle, all that kind of stuff, guys. We'll get into it. So definitely stay tuned for that, guys. Again, like I said, we were on hiatus for a while because priorities in life changed, but I appreciate you guys stopping in and listening to me rant on about random stuff. Obviously, as life happens, priorities change a little bit, but just wanted to let you guys know we're still here. We've slowed down, but, you know, expect some more content in the near future. Wish you guys a fantastic day. Talk to you soon.